Okay, check the drawers. Old newspaper. It looks to be a smaller species of that worm thing I saw earlier, or just a juvenile. It's been dissected, the internal organs removed. It couldn't be much older than that wall I demolished. It's badly faded, but it looks like a close-up view of some species of annelid. Nothing in there. It's locked from the other side, but I think the key's still in the lock. So newspaper? And screwdriver, I guess? Metal key. Oh god, hello? So much death and disease down here, I suppose slugs were an inevitability. From the debris, I'd say something huge broke into the room not so long ago. There's blood and slime everywhere. God, okay. Professor. These are the biomedical journals of Dr. J. Peters, etc, etc, etc. Blah blah blah. Subject of study, genus Rhiacephala, commonly grey rockworm. Aim to investigate the abnormal presence of the caddis in the Greenland rock. Method, collection of samples. Standard series of testing, observation and dissection. Personal notes. Upon arrival at the mining facility, I was immediately stunned by the sheer volume of fauna that finds a way of life down here, despite the conditions. In general, one would assume that species whose natural habitat is past a certain depth would find the intrusion of human activities too great a threat to remain in place. However, almost the exact opposite seems to be the case in this instance. It is curious that certain areas of the mine appear to be entirely without life of any kind, and yet other, deeper areas are teeming, and were the situation permitting, I would embrace the opportunity to commit further time to the study of these organisms. However, the purpose of my stay here shall continue to be the genus Rhiacephala. Me. Ah, finally some writing paper. Look at me, just using up the pages to scroll down whatever comes into my head. Ah, what is this stuff anyway? Some kind of research paper? No matter, it's paper all the same. I can finally record what's been happening down here for, I suppose, about a year now? It must be near the end of 2001 by now. Ah, I wonder when Christmas was. No matter, too tired to write now. We'll rest a little first. Professor, samples collected. The collection process has been far easier than I anticipated. The setup of the artificial environment for the rockworm went without a hitch, and the specimens themselves were so abundant as to make keeping them out far more challenging than containing them. They are all of healthy size, perhaps even beyond recorded size, and I can only assume that this is due to some lack of natural predators down here. Specimens are as follows: 3 adults in artificial habitat, 2 larval infants dead. Me. I've been down here 2 days now, was meaning to record events every day but was too busy securing the area. I've used some supplies from the old mining system to wall myself in here. It seems as safe a place as any, but those things should at least stay put for a little while. To that end, seems I've had a pretty lucky stumbling here. All this old research is about something similar to what's been hunting me ever since I escaped the shelter 4 days ago. Don't get me wrong, after what they did to me back there, I'd rather be facing anything else, and after almost a year of fighting for our lives, we didn't really stand a chance anyway. I don't know how many are left inside. But this is good. These notes might have some way to fight these things, the rockworms that followed me here. I don't know how they knew I was coming, or how they managed to follow me in the dark, but maybe I can work that out now. I found some old newspaper clippings. I guess they're referring to this mine. I had no idea it was so old, so big. I can see now why they built that facility here in the first place. A lot of history buried down here. It worries me though. We'd been resting all our hopes of rescue on one of the scientists who escaped right near the start of it all. He got out almost as the chaos began, so we figured he might have made it out and brought help, but maybe me and him are due the same fate. I must record what's been going on, give the world the answers it needs so it doesn't fall prey to what's being released down here. But first I need to worry about myself, find a way out of here and work out how to kill these worm things. Professor, observations. The creatures are indeed larger than had been previously recorded. The juveniles seem to still be growing, far beyond their natural limits, although the adults have now expired. I will watch with interest to see what the lifespan is of this particular subspecies. The worms appear to have 3 senses, as would be validated by previous research: taste, smell, and an extremely sensitive sense of touch, which allows them to detect vibrations in the rock in the same way that the human eye senses beams of light and processes them into spatial images. Their natural prey is insects smaller than themselves, and heaven help those insects, because the worm is a vicious and efficient killer. Me. He's wrong, they have no sense of smell. Today I attempted to distract them with a concoction I found lying around, but to no avail. However, it does seem that they detect movement via vibrations, which would explain how they can see in the dark. Damn, there's almost no way to escape them down here. I'm on their territory now. Lifespan is 3 days and counting. I can still hear them outside the wall. As an extra precaution, I've locked myself in a smaller study area connected to the main lab room. If they get through that wall, I doubt this door will stop them, but it's better than nothing. Barely. Professor. Conclusions. This subspecies of genus Rhizophila is highly adapted for its environment. If released above the surface, it seems likely that it would quickly destroy the existing rockworm population, and soon after that the population would grow to a size far outstripping its own food supplies. Given its increase in size and lifespan already, due to unknown conditions, I would hypothesize that the worm, if left in such conditions for a reasonable period of time, perhaps 3,000 to 4,000 years, could grow up to a further 3 inches, making it a total of almost 1 foot long. However, should those conditions change, or indeed magnify, physical evolution could occur far more rapidly. Me. It's the 5th day today, and I swear they've begun to surround my location. I can't tell whether or not they have breached the wall I built, but I'm certain they've entered whatever area surrounds this room. The future looks increasingly bleak. I intended to record here the events of the past year in the hope that perhaps what occurred could be contained or driven away. Now I realise I could write all I wanted, no one will ever make it down here to read it. So why write this now? Good question. I have no answer. All I do know is this: I'd rather take my own life than die at the jaws of those hideous monsters. I have tied a noose. Those monsters may feed on my corpse, but they won't take my life.
While you hunt for those delicate, melt-in-your-mouth mousy morsels, there are places you should not go, for fear of death. The Reaper lives here, just like you and I. And just like you and I, he must ingest the living flesh of those less fortunate than him. There is a small place that I do not want you to visit, even on your holidays, because it is dark and evil place that I've been. When the darkness has overwhelmed my small decaying mind, some bad things flowed from my mind, and through my pen, the brilliant blue ink itself seemed to turn to blood into my grace. And by the way, should you turn peckish, red is at its finest sautéed with a little engine oil.
Oh, what's this? Oh, Christ. Oh. Okay. So the blank note. With the UV light, there's some text showing on the blank piece of paper. The note reads storage password 1371. Got it. Okay, back we go. Is it this way? Where am I now? Is this where the keypad was? Aha! 1371. Nice. Chemical storage, I guess. What was that? Nope.
Really, the hunger is becoming rather uncomfortable here. How far away are you?
I'm getting
You cannot be
there.
far. I am held captive by a wall of stone in the northeast of the mine. As in any drama, there are many roles to be played. You must act the scientist in mixing potions, act the renegade in plots of destruction. On your travels for the tools with which you will fashion my rescue, you may discover the place of my last meal. Be careful. The shiny, solid floor of water is not as solid as it seems. Poor Red was almost swallowed whole. The two foolsy men who plummeted into my domain have long since departed, though not, I expect, from whence they came. I ate ravenously of biped meat that day, but Red promises feasting only began when the man became pungent, when the stench of life had gone, and only the sweet aroma of decay remained.
That's perfectly normal. Oh god, what? Worm? Jump! Oh my god, no! That's unfortunate. Close. Close. Right. You, get in there. Okay, that's fine. Right, you. Go. Right.
Oh, my brain can barely imagine the feats of action man like heroics you must be performing to save old Red. I am waiting so close now for you to blow down the walls of my earthbound prison cell and release me from this mortal coil.
That'll do. Okay. Yes, save, let's do that. Okay, so we have... I think there's 5 chemicals to collect in this room. We'll read that note in a minute. This? Yep, there's one. There's one. Jerky. I don't know why Red is resorting to eating rats, spiders, and humans when there's all this beef jerky just laying around. I guess we're not meant to ask those questions. And that one? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 now. Put these down here. Okay. Magnesium, calcium, barium, chloride, phosphorus, and sodium. So there's 6 I need. Okay, do not forget B-A-D-C-F-E. Got it. Oh, it's right here. F, there we go, okay. I need to mix these, but I don't think I mix them in here. I think I have to go elsewhere. Do I keep that note? I do keep the note, okay. Okay, where's a map? Chemical storage, incinerator. I guess I'll go to the lake. Yep, okay. Useless. Well, not entirely, just an old flare and some painkillers. Oh, thank you. Last will and testament of Joe Freeman. I, Joe Freeman, would like to leave all my personal belongings to my sister May in the knowledge that she will distribute them wisely. We always used to say, better to die young than to never live at all. I guess we're going to get our wish. I know enough about survival to realise I won't be surviving much longer. Jono, my buddy, I just don't know. My left leg is broken in 3 places, and I suspect I may have also shattered my pelvic bone. 3 hours ago, after we'd set up camp, Jono set off to find some usable timber for fire. When he got back, he was very excited. I couldn't work out what it was that had got him so agitated, but I went along with it all the same. I should have recognised the signs. Soon after, he got worse. He jumped me when I turned away, burying my face in the snow, trying to suffocate me. I still don't know what he found in the ice to enrage him so. Lucky for me, the ground gave way and we both fell. I landed hard on the ice and desperately clawed my way onto more solid ground. I was running on adrenaline, didn't notice the pain. I just knew that if I was going to die, I didn't want it to be in the frozen water beneath me. When you fall into a frozen lake, you don't just drown or freeze to death. Your whole body seizes up from the cold. Every instinct tells you to swim for the side, but your body won't let you. You gradually dip under the surface, your last breath expelled when you fell. But you don't drown there and then. Your body shuts everything down, survives on what strength you have left. You can last for an hour just floating there, slowly dying. So now I'm lying here, my soaked Gore-Tex freezing me in place, me on one side of the lake, Jono trapped on the other. I'm worried about him. From what I can see from this side, his arm is dislocated, his shoulder blade fractured, and his wrist broken. I can't hear anything he yells, but he looks to be constantly muttering to himself, testing the ice with a crowbar from his pack. I don't know how he can stand the pain, or where his strength is coming from, but at any rate, something strange happened to him. Fortunately for me, he can't cross the ice, it'll give way under his weight. The only way to cross would be to carefully spread your weight evenly across the surface, and he looks in too much of a rush for that. There's a lot of drugs in my system right now. I have another bottle of painkillers. There's enough to finish the job. I always said I'd rather die pushing the boundaries than drift away in my sleep. I guess I didn't mean that after all. I'd rather gently slip away than die cold or bleeding. Save. Okay, so I think I need... There, it's me. I'm inside that box and outside it. I can't get things straight in my head. So this ice is very thin, so I think I need to walk really slowly across it. Well, shit. I don't have the strength to pull the crowbar out of his frozen hand. This Gore-Tex glove is high-tech modern stuff. I really hope there's not a body attached to it. Though Jesus, what a way to go. How do I can't remember how to get the crowbar out. Do I saw it off? And here we have the Half-Life Easter egg. What am I using the crowbar for? Okay, so I've done the chemical storage, I've done the lake. Is it the incinerator next? incinerator? This way? Incinerator. I'm not strong enough to use my hands. I need to use a tool to force it open.
Where are you, my shiny knight? Have you really made it this far? I wait, and yet the pot never boils. I remain trapped in my den of iniquity. Perhaps the gods have toyed with me once more. Sentenced me to yet more years in this place of eternal nightlight. But now, maybe my ill advice has ended you. Have you rung death's doorbell? Please don't leave poor Ren all alone once more, like all the others.
Aha, okay, this is where we do the chemistry stuff. It's like there's a carbon copy of me inside the artifact, except that there's more than one, and they're not very good copies. Okay. We got us some tube. Oh, it's a fuse, okay. Nice, thank you. Okay, so put this here. Okay, let me just write this down. BADCFE. So if I just take all of these off of here. Okay. Okay, so we light it first. Okay, Armstrong's mixture. Death mix, okay. The materials required are red phosphorus and barium. So I think I need to mix that one with this. Ooh. Oh, I need to like carry it like this. Oh god. This doesn't seem very safe. I'm guessing I use it here? Okay, so now I need the fuse. Run away! Right around the corner. Only took me until the very end of the game to remember that I have this glow stick. So I apologise for how dark the game has been thus far while I was trying to conserve batteries. That's my bad. Are you locked? Yep, you're locked, okay. I can't get a hold of it. It needs something to lever it open.
Good evening. You actually came. There is much that should leave my throat box now, but words elude me. You came, you are so pretty, but I have been bad. The underworld already beckons me, so I suppose one further misdemeanor will change little. It is false pretension, and not guiding light with which I have led you here. I cannot give you the answers you want. You may wish to find what it is you seek, but that is a fiction. You cannot know what it is you sought through the vast leaden doorway, or else you would seek anything else in the world. No, the key stays with me, in here, so the life that has led me, horrible as it may be, is better still than the life that waits for you, hungry behind those doors. As replacements go, you shall be admirably abnormal. But you must wonder why this metal burning chamber is talking to you in a voice you knew only as red. For it is I, your companion, residing within. You see, I have waited for this day so many years. They won't let me die. They have parts of my head are not my own. And I cannot take my life. It is against the rules. Please, the pain has gone on for so long. All I wanted was a friend, but now the time for chit-chats and marshmallows by the fire is ended. And I hope that soon so shall my life. I have knocked on the death's door for so long. Please, let him invite me in for tea.
Okay. Sorry, Red. My dearest friend, how are you? I am as well as can be expected. I have some sad news though. A few days ago there was some kind of collapse and some of the ceiling of the cave fell in on me. What scares me is that I was in an off-limits part of the mine. They may not look for me here, and if they do and find me, I'll be in so much trouble. But I don't think I'll have to worry about that because I'm not sure I'll be getting out of here. I don't mind so much. I've been working in the mine for about 3 weeks now and I'm really proud that I can send money home. But it's pretty tough work, and so far you're the only person that's really been nice to me. Plus I have some nice company down here. There's some friendly kinda creepy crawlies and some books I brought from home that I was taking to the rec room. If you think about it, I was really quite lucky I had all this stuff with me, otherwise I'd have been bored stiff. As it is, I have Shakespeare, Bronte, Nietzsche, perfect bedtime reading. Although I suppose I might be trapped here long enough that I have to read them twice. I always used to ask my mum how long people survived without food and things. I read how some people can survive underwater for over 5 minutes, and some people last in the desert for weeks, but she always said you had 3 minutes of air, 3 days of water, etc. I suppose I'll probably find out soon enough. I guess if I had to, I could find food around the place. Like I said, there's all sorts of creatures here, but they're better off as my friends than my lunch. I wonder whether I shall starve to death, or go cave crazy first. Neither sounds too much fun, I guess, but if I had to choose, I'd say I want to go mad. It sounds like an adventure. Tom Redwood. Aged 14. Oof. Leaving out how Red managed to catch and kill this thing, it's quite clearly inedible. Poor guy must have been so close to starving to death. Ooh. Save. The chains on his arms are visible now. Not there out of choice, Father looks on aghast. He clutches some notes, shaking hands. He knows what has come, what the man has released. The only one who could stop it. Howard knows the real fear. How many hours did he spend with his neck in this noose, just trying to end it all? Yeah, like I'm gonna electrocute myself, but okay. What did that achieve? Oh, the door. Maybe? Nope. Who are you? Okay, crowbar? As I stepped into the mouth of the underground facility, there should have been questions, fears, doubts running through me. Instead, I was torn in two. Part of me, I felt, had died, along with my only ally and friend. His final words had raised more questions than they had answered, and I couldn't get his screams for help out of my head, despite knowing, deep down, that the pain that I had caused Red was, itself, all the help I could have offered him. I was alone again, but I had nothing to do other than to press on into the unknown. If I'd felt so bad about Red, I should have listened to him and stayed where I was. I would trade his fate 100 times for my own. The other side of me was looking forward to what might await me in the continued journey. I felt sure that I would soon find some clue or other to my father's fate, and that he was inextricably linked to everything that was happening. I also couldn't help but suspect that everything I had seen up until that point was just symptomatic of whatever lay beyond the threshold. I know now I was right. Welcome to the shelter, established 1973. Blah blah blah. Please have your identity documents ready. Hello? Don't you turn the lights off. Come back, come here. Oh fuck. With that, the man who had first descended into the mine was no more, and so began my next chapter. To be continued. Okay guys, so that was Penumbra Overture. The series continues in Penumbra Black Plague, which I will be playing next. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching.